Hi, Brittany. Oh my gosh.
How are you?
Hi there.
Hi.
You look cold.
You know what? I gave myself the day off, not, I gave myself the day off, not the night off. And I didn't come into my office until just a few minutes ago. So I've got my heater on, but it's pretty cold. Mhm. How are you? How are you all?
Oh, so good.
So good? What's good?
Yep.
Doing very well.
Yeah.
Everything.
Let's start off by sharing some wins. I would love to do that, just like to ground into the space. Is this our fourth call? This is our fourth call,
I
yeah.
think so.
Um, so we learned about cravings initially when we first started and how to differentiate between feelings of love and feelings of love and happiness and safety versus feelings of anxiety, wanting you to eat and having you causing you to crave food at parties. And then we did the emotional eating technique. We also did the clean your plate technique last week to help you guys stop overeating. So yeah, I would love just to check in before we get into this night's, the material for today. I would love just to check in and hear how you guys are doing. Maybe share some wins. And then I think what I'll do, I've been thinking about how I want to do this call. And I think what I'll do is I'm going to walk everybody through the body boundary technique together, but I'm not going to take anybody one-on-one. Like normally I like to kind of walk a few people live through this, but I think just because this is a more sensitive topic, I will not do that. But I will stay on at the end if you guys have questions or if something comes up and you need some extra help. And also Dawn on Wednesday. So if anybody gets extra triggered and you're not able to clear it today in this class, or if something else comes up, Dawn is going to teach a body boundary class and just do like some tapping with you guys um, on Wednesday. So. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Go ahead and I guess we've got more people here now. So raise your hand if you'd like to share a win. Would love to hear how you guys are doing. Hmm. Who wants to share? Daphne.
Okay, well, I've had good wins, and then I've had little like, oh, I guess I'm hanging out, not really doing anything moving forward, but hanging out and just kind of being.
Okay.
So, what I really want to say is the wins of just the community. I'm not good at
Mm.
getting engaged in community. I'm
Oh.
really good at being self-sufficient in my own mind anyway.
Hmm.
And, and so I just want to say to all of you in this group, thank you for reaching back to my
Mm.
posts. Thank you for positive feedback. Thank you for being a safe community that's allowed me to even take tippy toe steps into being vulnerable with people I don't know,
Mm.
who I intellectually can say, but we're like minded. We're wanting the same things. We're here for the same reasons. So I want to just publicly say thank you to all of you who have been supportive in that way of helping me feel safe to be vulnerable,
Thank you, Daphne.
publicly vulnerable. That's not easy for me to do.
Mm.
I don't know how many of you are firstborns, but I am a tried and true write my name next to the firstborn definition in the dictionary. That's me. And and so we're supposed to be in charge at all times, one of
Mm.
the things. So I want to say thank you to that. But I also want to say that a win for me is being able to trust myself to tap by myself
Mm.
and not because I come from the school of thought that says there's somebody smarter than me and I want to learn from them and I don't want to have to learn the slow way.
Mm.
So I'll just talk to the experts. And so this time I'm like, this program is not set up like that.
Mm.
This program is set up to be self-empowering. At least that's my intellect right now,
Hmm.
to empower us to be able to help ourselves.
Hmm. Exactly.
Okay, good. I'm glad you're nodding, Brittany, because I'm like, well, maybe I've got it wrong.
No, that's
Um,
absolutely the intention. Yeah.
and so that's different for me because
Mm.
I'm like, oh, trust myself that I can learn this and that I'll have the wisdom to listen to myself in my own space.
Wow.
That's kind of an odd little feeling. So that's a big, 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 big win for me to have the courage to tap by myself and know that it will be authentic and effective.
Wow, what a juicy win, Daphne. Thank you so much for sharing that. It's a beautiful reflection too. I hadn't thought, I mean, I know that I set it up to be self-empowering, but I don't think I've ever had somebody reflect back to me that they can tell through the materials and the way I teach that that's the case. So that's very cool. Thank
Yeah,
you.
you guys aren't readily available like, I want you. You are. Don't get me wrong, you are, but it's the
Well,
technology piece, It's like, ooh, no, I want a human.
yeah. Well, we have that. It's just more
You do. And I and
we
I
have those options.
yes, and I have, Casey and whatnot and
Yeah.
whatnot, but it is
But yes,
definitely
everybody needs to tap on their own. I mean,
yes.
just coming to the classes isn't going to fix your problems. You have to learn how to do these things
Yep.
because we're not going to have a class booked when you want to eat at 10 o'clock at night after everybody's gone to bed. Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, that's exactly it. And to know that that's a new concept. I mean, in talk therapy, you just kind of go, well, I got Tuesday coming up and I'll add this to my list. Or,
Yeah.
this is what I'm going to talk about. But to know that you can stop a behavior in the moment,
Yeah.
hmm,
I know.
that's new.
That is. That's just so part of my world that's been a part of my world for so long. And I hated having to save my challenges for the every Tuesday because I grew up in therapy too. And I've done a lot of therapy, but I just didn't like how disempowered I felt that whole week. And then I also didn't like how I had to depend on somebody else to feel better, you
Mhm.
know? And so I think that's why I resonated with tapping so much.
Well, it's a good model. I'm just here to say it's a
Cool.
part of the learning curve for me.
Yes. Glad you're enjoying it. Love it. Thank you, Daphne, for sharing. Okay, Marlene. Go ahead and unmute. Oh, there you
Hey
go.
there. Can you hear
Yep.
me?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I had a big aha moment. Like I started the program around February and I couldn't remember all that many things going back between 0 and 8. But anyways, as time has led on and uh, I'm spending more time with it and kind of getting how it works, what I discovered was the food relation to me, there was so much arguing and fighting when I was growing up. My brothers fought every day, like physically fought and argued, and my parents argued all the time. And what I realized was that when there wasn't fighting was when there was eating. And so my mom never controlled what we ate. There was none of this clean the plate or any of that because I ate everything, right? And I usually did the dishes, so I ate the scraps on everybody else's plate too. Not that there was a lot, but during eating time, there wasn't talking, but there wasn't arguing. And so what I realized was that I eat I eat a lot to find peace, right?
Interesting.
A- Anyway,
Great.
um, so that was like a big onion peel coming off
Yeah, I
to
bet.
realize that that's what's going on a lot, right? Because I kept
Mm,
thinking it had to be, um, you know, voices that I heard that had to do with food. But my mom would bake like a big apple cobbler or peach cobbler or oatmeal cake so us kids would have something for breakfast because we didn't talk. There wasn't
mm,
talking in our family. There was
mm,
just arguing, and I hated arguing, so I'd stay in my room, but I
mm,
ate, right? And so we ate so uncontrollably, like we just take a spoon in the morning, and instead of getting a plate or anything, just take off a roll, right? Eat until you had to catch the bus, or you're full, right? And it was just never normal kind of portions.
Mhm.
And no restrictions on it, right? So, and it wasn't like we were rich, but that was one thing my parents didn't restrict us on was food. So
Wow, there's some layers there for sure.
yeah, thank you.
Wow.
So, anyways, that's a big one on
Mm,
realizing that I'm filling up instead of looking at possible controversy, or if I got to have a conversation I don't want to have
mhm.
stuff,
Yeah,
so
that's a very
anyways,
common one.
that's a big win for me, Brittany.
Yeah,
Thank you.
great. Thank you for sharing, Marlene. I
You're
appreciate
welcome.
that. Yeah, that's a huge win.
Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, Mary.
Hi there. Nice
Hi.
to see you again.
Ew.
Um, I did push the food away. I whatever lesson that is, I'm slowly working my way finally through them. And I had a very interesting experience. I keep always going back to 4-year-old because that was such a hugely traumatic year for me. And then I went back to 6 years old. Then I went back to 24. And that's huge. I've done nothing. I haven't gone to any traumas in my adult years. And
Mm,
then and then 45 and now today, 74. And it was all about I wasn't supposed to get into the food and I was hungry and I was confused and now I was fat and now I was shamed for being fat and I really wasn't fat. And now I was, you know, a man broke up with me that I was deeply in love with, and that
mm,
was hugely shameful. And it all tied to the food. It
mm,
was really, and that was, I just kept tapping. I just kept going back and doing it again and again.
mm.
And that's a lot of win. That's a lot of onion.
A lot, a
Yeah.
lot. And have you
Yeah.
seen that show up in your life? I remember I don't know if you did this seems like a separate topic, but I remember you were the example for when we did push the food away at parties. Have you tested that
Yeah.
yet?
I actually will be testing it Wednesday because that's going to be the first party. My sister's having a party and I'll
Okay.
be doing that. But I'm not as drawn to overeating as I had been. Now my goal is, because you can, is to be social and see the people, but not want to eat, eat everything. So as opposed to
Yes.
eating to keep myself busy or eating to keep myself safe or being busy to keep myself away from having to talk to people.
Mm,
That's what you're talking about.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I will be testing that on Wednesday. Yeah,
Awesome. I'm excited to
yeah,
hear about that.
yeah.
That's
Thank
great.
you.
Thank you for
So,
sharing. Thank you for
yeah,
sharing. Okay, I'm going to take Bridget and then Grace and Roxana. I think your hand was up. Um, I'll check in with you at the end of the tapping today. I want to make sure that we have enough time for the tapping and all of that, if that's okay. Hi, Bridget.
Hi. Okay, so wins. I am so thrilled. So I'm a total noob. I've only been in this like a week and a half, but I've done the 7-day challenge, the weekend retreat, which was like, whew, phenomenal.
Thank you.
And I'm really excited because I specifically, let me get this out of the way here. I specifically had my husband pick up a maple nut Persian donut, which I am like grape ape about. And I should have like probably gotten that for the weekend thing, but
Mm,
I went ahead and had him pick it up today because I usually have like one every weekend, right? Sometimes two, but I've only done that like one time. And so he brought it home. I had one tiny, like tiny little nibble of it and threw it in the fridge because I wanted to test it, you know?
mm,
I am just like, I've never just had one bite before. I eat the whole thing in one sitting normally. So that was a huge win. But what I'm so appreciative and grateful for is the fact that I have started feeling the effects of this program like right away. Super
mm.
effective. And
That's
I've done
fun.
tons of stuff. I've You name it, I've done it, I've tried it, right? I'm 62, so it's like, hello, I've been on the earth a while.
Mm.
Oh my God. I am so like, I'm so excited about this program. I'm gonna like take a chill pill, go through the 6 weeks, go through the 6 weeks, and then I'm so excited. I think this is my new path going forward. I think I'm going to be going for certification because
Oh, what?
I'm so, this works.
Mm.
And I finally feel like I might have something, getting emotional, to bring to my clients that will flip and work this time. Oh my God. So I'm
Oh.
really excited about that. I'm just so thankful. So, woohoo! And then I have just like one super teeny tiny quick question. So, in the 6 week thing, so we did that A through elemental PQ, and I found out like my top three that I need to beliefs that I need to address. What's
Wait,
my
are you
next
talking about the
step?
300 limiting beliefs?
Yeah, like this
Okay.
thing here.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So I've got like my top one is the deprivation, denial, and resentment. And you told me from the very first call where I actually spoke with you, you told me I think you need to do anger work like last Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
You called it.
Oh, yeah.
But I think there's a lot of like intuitive, esoteric stuff going on with you. I feel like you can just nail it. So, so I'm
I've
at
been
point
at this for 30 years. I thought it was 20 yesterday as I was calculating,
You're
but I
like,
was like, oh shit,
yeah,
it's
I resemble
30.
that remark.
Yeah.
So, where do I ask that question to find out, like, where to tap on that specific thing, or do I need to be patient and it'll come up?
Um, so short answer is that the 300 limiting beliefs just gives you a template of where you are. And then
Okay.
what you'll do is after you can do it like midway through your journey, I would say, or like whenever you notice your eating behaviors have really changed, maybe you're not to the end of everything, but you've noticed a significant shift, go back and refill it out. There's actually nothing that you have to do because the techniques
Oh,
that you're using, the techniques that we're using, the more basically, the way to get that down to a zero is just do more tapping. The more tapping you can do, the faster that goes down. So we don't work on it one by one, like belief
okay.
by belief, like other systems teach, or like hypnosis, or even traditional tapping will teach like that. Because the techniques that I teach are so much more powerful and go so much deeper, you're going to be collapsing a lot of beliefs in one session. So in every session, you're going to be collapsing multiple things, but we never know exactly what the beliefs are because you're chasing beliefs, and I haven't found the value in that, at least for this problem. I have found it for other things like financial, like for like finances, it's helpful with that, but for food addiction, emotional eating, or any kind of addictive craving, it's not as effective as some of the other stuff. So
Okay. All right.
yeah.
That answers my question. Yeah, I wasn't even sure if this was, a forum to even ask that. So
Yeah,
thank you
so
for the wonderful
the
answer.
breakthroughs with Brit would be the like Q&A calls where everybody pops on and asks me questions. Today I'm going to teach and I'm going to take you guys through a tapping thing, but the we have a breakthrough with Brit on Thursday. So that would be a perfect question to
Okay.
ask. But yeah, I've pretty much answered.
Awesome.
So.
Thank you so
Welcome.
much. Oh
Thanks for
my
your
God.
enthusiasm. It is totally welcome here. You do not need to take a chill pill. We love it. Okay, Grace, I'm gonna just lower your hand for a minute if it's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Can
yeah.
we come
I'll
back
do
to
it.
you? Are you doing okay?
Oh, come back later. Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool. Thanks. Okay, I just want to get into the teaching today and the tapping because I want to make sure I give you guys some time to uh, to check in after we're done. And I have a hard stop at 7 tonight. Okay, so this is a pretty heavy topic that I have to say in my coaching practice, it's actually very, very challenging to hold space for women that have gone through body boundary violation. Typically in our society, we call it sexual abuse. I coined the phrase body boundary violation because it can show up in subtle ways. The reason that I'm telling you that it's challenging is because, well, it's challenging because of the things that some of you guys have been through. I cannot even begin to tell you the things and the stories that I've heard and the the acts that have been done to people is the most horrific, horrendous, unfortunate. It's horrific, it's horrendous, and it's the unfortunate part of my job. But I also have to say that the it's probably the most rewarding too, because I know when I'm holding space for somebody and we're healing this, that we are changing the trajectory of their life forever, forever, forever. And so I don't want to put you guys on the spot and have you share stories. I would say if you want to work with your like deepest body boundary violation today, you can. I probably wouldn't recommend it. I always recommend people, if you have had some really horrific things happen to you when it comes to body boundary violation, to work one-on-one with a coach if you can swing that. We do these calls and we hold space, and Dawn's going to do another one on Wednesday. So if you have something come up and you need to tap on it more, you'll have access to that. But it's always good to work with somebody. Casey's an amazing coach. Casey and Dawn can hold incredible space for you guys. So if you need extra support, please do not hesitate to reach out and ask for help, and get one-on-one coaching. So let's just kind of talk a little bit about the body boundary violations, because this really, I guess I'll start by sharing my story with it. So this was the first time I'd been working. So I started tapping when I was 15. You guys know that. By the time I was 25 or 26, I'd gone pretty deep. There was maybe 4 or 5 people teaching tapping at that time. And I found somebody, and I hired them, and they were the ones to pinpoint that my eating problem and my weight problem had something to do with sexual abuse. And as we were talking about it, and as they were inquiring, they were the inquiry and the questions they asked me had me look at some scenarios and some situations in a different light. Specifically, I have always been a party girl. I partied my way through high school. I partied my way all through my 20s. And so there were things that there were situations that happened, getting too drunk, waking up in bed with somebody, not remembering if I had sex with them or not. Or, I was very sexual. There were a lot of people that I slept with, where I didn't feel good about it, but I know I led them on. And so for a long time, until I met this person, I blamed myself for those things. I never looked at it as something that was wrong. I mean, I knew that I didn't like what happened, but I never thought about, I just wasn't given the information or the guidance from the matriarchs in my life that letting men treat me this way was not okay. And, as I started teaching this class, it was really interesting. The stories that I would hear from my students, one of them said, God, when I was 5 years old, when I started teaching the body boundary thing to her, she's like, now that I think about it, when I was 5 years old, these boys at school pulled me behind this bush and they told me to show them my underwear, and I was wearing a dress and I flashed them my underwear, and I felt so ashamed about that. And they ran away, and I can't remember, maybe they made fun of her. It got around the school, and then it was this huge thing that she'd been carrying for a long time. Well, she's 5 years old. How the fuck are you going to think that something like that is going to contribute to your weight problem as an adult? But sure enough, we tackled that, and she was a mom of 3 kids, and she had been holding on to extra weight. I think it was 30 or 40 extra pounds for 20 years. And within 30 days, I think she had lost like 20 pounds or something. So it is absolutely amazing how quickly this works. I had another student, just to give you like another end of the spectrum example. Once my student started working on herself, or started working on this module, she said, you know what? I could never understand why why I would always overeat when I would go visit my grandparents. And what I realized is every time I go home to my grandma's house, she says something about my weight. She'll comment about my body, or I'll be wearing, these certain jeans and she'll point out the way my butt looks. And when we unpacked it, I was like, I would certainly tap on that. And that was the thing for her that was keeping her stuck. That was her body boundary violation. And so I'm just telling you guys these examples so that you can start to take inventory and think about some things that have happened to you, um, or experiences that you had where you might you might blame yourself, or you might just accept it as normal behavior, or you might kind of sweep it under the rug and think like, oh, it's not that bad. Because there is no there yes, there are horrific, horrible things, and yes, there are some people that have had sexual trauma way worse than us. But when it comes to how it's affecting you and your body, there is no like worse. There is no worse. It's just what happened to you. Okay. So I don't want you to discount something that may have happened that's contributing to your overeating problem. Yeah, I guess that's the best way to introduce this. Does anybody have any questions about that? So I guess for today, what I would love for you to do is think about something that has happened to you in this scenario. Hopefully you already were. Does anybody feel nervous? Did anybody feel nervous coming to this call today? Like, oh, because I know it said that we were working on body boundary violation. Anybody have stuff come up? You can just raise your hand. You did, yeah. Okay, a couple of you, not tons. Okay, that's good. I'm going to turn my heater down. Now it's too hot. All right, so I want everybody to think about what happened, and we're just going to do a little echo tapping here, and we're going to weave in some boundary work. This is one of the only techniques that where we don't need echo tapping to take us to the trauma. Okay, if you know that something happened, you can make a list of all the things that may have happened to you. You know what, guys, even if you're not sure if it happened or not, this is also very common when people start to work with me or they start tapping in my programs. They can maybe have an inkling that something happened, but not completely remember it. But then when they start doing tapping with me, they could be tapping on something totally different. And all of a sudden their memories start to come up to the surface. So I would say, even if you're not sure, just try to put a story around it. Another really good example of this is a friend of mine. She would always emotionally eat, and she would always struggle with her weight. And I was waiting for her to ask me for help with this for a long time. We've known each other for 15 years. I think it was probably 10 before she asked me for help. And I always suspected that maybe there was some body boundary violation in there, because she'd done a lot of therapy, NLP. We met in NLP class. She'd done all this like brain reprogramming, hypnosis, all this stuff. I said, God, I wonder if there's a body boundary violation. Sure enough, when we finally worked together, the body boundary violation didn't happen to her. It happened to her next door neighbor. And the next door neighbor didn't even confide in her. It was just her intuiting that this was going on with somebody that lived next door to them. Okay, so I'm giving you a lot of different examples, just to kind of to jog your memory so that you can start to take inventory of body boundary issues that may have come up in your life. And so you're going to want to work on these systematically. So, maybe you don't want to work on the biggest one today, but pick one of the things that has happened to you. Okay, we're gonna start by doing some echo tapping, which means we're gonna go back to that time, and you're gonna feel all the emotions, and you're gonna say out loud as you tap. You're gonna talk about the emotions that are coming up for you. I feel scared. I feel angry. I'm so hurt. I don't know why this happened. I'm so upset. I can't believe I've carried this for so long. And then the next part is that we're going to go into setting some boundaries with this person. And usually the boundaries at first look like, fuck you, take your fucking hands off me, don't ever fucking touch me like that again, get off, get out, get away. And I'm setting you guys up for this so that I don't, while you're in it, I don't have to explain these details to you. So often, this was also something that I discovered only a couple of years ago. The boundary work is within the last 5 years, but there is something really powerful about getting somebody's energy out of your body. Pretty much everybody here is highly intuitive. I'm sure you're all empaths to a certain extent. And so even just as a woman, we take on the energy of the people around us, a lot of especially people close to us, but also people that have hurt us. And so it's really powerful to, with your hands, to push the energy. When you get a sense of the energy of that person in your body, to push the energy out of your body, get out, get away, get away. And so there's kind of this combination of boundary work and anger work at the same time when we're doing this. The anger work piece of it is like saying it with force. Fuck you, stop, that's not okay. If you want to shake your hands, if you want to punch some pillows, if you want to get on the floor and like flop around, I mean, whatever's going to feel really good to you. Okay. And whatever's going to feel good, or whatever's going to help you release the energy the best. Usually anger work doesn't feel good until the end, but, and then at the end, with dynamic echo tapping, the way that I teach that is that we send the person who hurt us to the healing center. But I don't like doing that. I don't like doing it, especially if it's the first time you've worked with this memory or that person. What we do instead is something called kicking the offender's ass. Okay. And kicking the offender's ass is you truly doing whatever the fuck you want to this person. And I have to say, I give you all permission. And it is I would say 9 times out of 10, I would say not 90 people out of 100 get very gory and bloody with it. Okay. So you are not weird. You are not crazy if you want this person to suffer and to hurt. Again, you guys were just doing this in our mind's eye, obviously. So you're not actually inflicting pain on them, but there is something really satisfying about kind of like some physical revenge. I've had a student put her abuser into a wood chipper. I've had people like cut their dicks off and put them in their mouth. I mean, like it's like I give you full range creatively to come up with what you want this person to experience. Okay. And just let your intuition, I think you'll know what you want to do to them and how you want that revenge back. Okay. And then at the end, we'll check in and make sure everybody's okay. Grace, do you have questions about what we're doing today?
Yeah, just a quick one. I'm going through, there's a whole gamut of times. Some are mild or some are not mild at all.
Okay.
Some of them, I was young and I was complicit. So it's hard to get angry with somebody to approach me in a certain way when I'm kind of complicit and kind of playing with it when I really didn't know what I was playing with. So I don't know. My feelings are confused about that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I think I would say that's a really good one to tap on, because those are some of the things, I would relate that to my example of, getting too drunk and hooking up with guys and not remembering whether or not did I lead them on? Did I probably, yeah. So no, it's not their fault, but what I couldn't say in that moment is, hey, this isn't okay. It's not okay to have sex with a girl that's blackout drunk. Like, that's not okay. We all know that now, but back then that wasn't really a message that was going around. So I think, and also you not honoring you, and it's not
Well, I didn't have any education about any of that either.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, is not having the words for it is still a body boundary violation. And
yeah, and the thing is, it's confusing because my body kind of likes this.
Yeah, it is confusing. And so I think when we go back in time, you get to say the words that you couldn't say in the moment. Now, in hindsight, now years later, you can say, what, I can be the person and I can say the words for that younger version of me that couldn't.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I do think it will be absolutely powerful for you to do those.
That helps. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else have clarifying questions like that before we get started? I want to make sure everybody's tapping. Okay, tapping on the right stuff. Okay, cool. Okay, so everybody feel free to turn off your cameras if you want some more privacy. I'm gonna kind of like go into my own little space as well, and but I'll be checking in with you guys, and if you need any help, Casey's here. Type it in the chat. She'll watch the chat to make sure that she's there for you. And yeah, let's get started. Okay, so I want everybody to just start tapping through the points right now. And I want you to think about this thing that happened, recall this event and this memory that you have. And it's not important that you know the exact age, but just think about how old you were when it happened. And I want you to see yourself at that age. And take a few steps closer to her. And as you get closer to her, the anxiety will probably increase. And that's okay. Just keep tapping through the points, keep breathing. Now, sometimes it's challenging to step in her body. And so if you find yourself popping out of your body and not being fully present in the memory for these, that's okay. All right. So I want you to get closer and closer and closer to her until either you step inside her body or you step into this memory with her. Okay. And keep tapping through the points here. And I want you to think about what happened, what just happened or what's about to happen that's making you feel this way. And I want you to tune into the constellation of emotions, thoughts, and feelings right now. And keep tapping through the points. And I want you to feel, and I want you to say out loud how you're feeling. I'm hurt. I'm scared. I'm confused. I don't want to be here. I wish I could run away. I feel betrayed. I feel angry. Keep tapping through the points. And if it helps, if you need to say out loud something that they did to you, or if you need to narrate what happened, if that helps you feel more, or if that helps you get into the feelings and the emotions more, that's okay. Say that out loud right now. And most of the time, women especially, we kind of freeze in these moments. And so notice your body right now. Notice if your body's feeling frozen. Okay. And one of the ways that we get out of being frozen is by movement. Okay. The anger work that we do, the moving our bodies, the hitting pillows. So I want you to take these feelings, take this emotion, take this memory, and I want you to, we're going to start to do some anger work or some purging work right now. Okay. And I want you to feel the energy, feel the frozen. If you don't feel the anger yet, that's okay. That's totally normal, but feel the frozen and just start moving your body, hitting pillows, hitting the air, flailing around, going like this to get the energy out of your body. Okay. And you're going to do that. And then when your body's tired of doing that, you're going to come back to tapping. Okay. Yeah, you guys are doing great. Keep going. And if there's words that go with this, if you can say words right now like stop it, don't do that, get off of me, that's not okay. Say this with force, with power now. Get off of me. That is not okay. When your body's tired, go back to tapping and just feel your body. Your body, you should feel more movement now. Okay. You should feel more alive. And then you'll start to notice after a couple minutes of tapping again, you'll start to notice some more feelings and emotions bubbling up. Or if you're in the feelings and emotions, just let the feelings and emotions come out. And whenever you feel that rise of emotions or energy or anger, go ahead and start to hit the pillows and move your arms. We want to get that energy out of our bodies, but just wait until it comes up for you. Get off of me. Get out. That is not okay. If you guys want to do anything like this, like get the energy out of your body, out of your body, get out, get out, get out. Some really powerful statements here is, this is my body, not yours. This is my body, not yours. Get out, get out, get out. And saying, it is not okay to treat me this way. It is not okay to touch me like this. It is not okay to speak to me like this. That is not okay is a very, very, very powerful statement to honor our body's boundaries and to honor ourselves. So just by saying that is not okay and naming it starts to begin to take your power back. So whatever phrase that I'm saying that's resonating with you, keep repeating that phrase. This is my body, not yours. Get out, get out, get off, get out. That is not okay. Saying the boundary words slower, saying it a few times the normal speed, and then slowing the words down also makes it land in your nervous system better. So you can say like, that is not okay. And then that is not okay. And just notice the difference when you say it like that, when you slow it down. Notice how much harder it is. And if there's anything else that you wish you would have said in this moment, say that right now too. You guys are doing great. And I want you guys to decide now. Let's see. You guys decide now what you want to do with this, with your perpetrator, okay? At this point, keep tapping through the points, and you can ban him to another planet if you want. You can beat the shit out of him in your mind's eye. You can throw him into a wood chipper. You can cut his dick off and put it in his mouth. Keep tapping through the points, and I want you to feel and imagine and visualize your revenge. And then when you feel done with that, I want you to imagine the story going in a different way. Maybe it's you never went to that party and you did something and you ended up, I don't know, meeting the love of your life that night. Or I had a client, we were just recently working on this. She imagined that she had her, instead of taking these stairs which is where the thing happened, she took this other way, and her love of her life picked her up and they went and had coffee all night. So play out a different story and repeat that. Play the beginning, middle, and end to that new story multiple times. Do you want her to feel safe? Do you want her to feel taken care of? Do you want her to just never have stepped foot at that party? Do you want her to have made a different choice? But you want to make it fun, and you want to make it feel happy. Okay, so whatever you need to do to think about you at this age doing something that was positive and uplifting. Mhm. Okay, when you feel ready, come back to today. And if you still want to be in it, continue to keep tapping. I see Sandy, you've got your hand up. I'll go to you. Go ahead and unmute.
Thank you. I realized towards the end of all of that, when you were saying pick another ending, that there had been other people there. There was like one older guy who was the perpetrator, and then there were younger people who followed him and whatever. What do I
Okay.
do with those people?
Whatever you want. You can kick their asses too. You can send them out off to outer space. You can, yeah, I mean, if there were multiple people involved in this scenario, I would go back and I would do this with everybody if you remember them clearly. And like, no, that's not okay. Get out, get off. Don't, this is my body, not yours. Don't touch me. Don't do that to me. Yeah, if there are multiple people involved, and if they still stand out in your mind, then go one by one.
Okay,
And
thanks.
then you can just, yeah, you can make them poof and disintegrate into dust. You can send them to live on a different planet, or you can murder them. Whatever. It's really up to it's a creative choice. Whatever feels the best for you.
The wood chopper's good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Great question. Anybody else have questions like that or want to share really quickly how their process went? I know some of you might still be kind of in it. Daphne, do you want to unmute? Oh, Marlene. Okay. Hey, Marlene, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
This was the first time I've ever found something else to do, which was really good. And basically, what happened when I was like in third grade, my sister, who I'd always wanted to play and do things with, would never have anything to do with me. And she was my only sister. And it really bothered me. Anyway, she called me and she said, Marlene, come here, come here. And she took me into the bedroom where my brother was. And she said, watch this. And she laid on the bed and he jumped on top of her and perpetrated her. And she was like 3 years
Wow.
older than me. And she says, it's really fun. You got to try it. And I said, no, that's okay, And I
Hmm.
was so excited to think she wanted me to do something with her.
Hmm.
And I was so double crossed by her. And
Hmm.
I laid there and let my brother boing boing me too, right? And
Oh,
I didn't feel right about it. I didn't know what was going on, but it didn't seem to me that it was right at all. And I learned from that in life I've said lots of times, oh, no, that's okay, when it wasn't okay.
yeah.
And I had to really pay attention to when I say okay, that I'm not just going along in hopes that a nice time's going to come out of something
Totally.
like a friendship or something like that, right?
Yeah.
But I remember we had this toy and it was a double round like a wheel that you could get in and roll across the yard. And I thought, you know what? If I did something like go outside and would have gotten on that wheel and rolled around when I
Hmm.
said no, that's o- that's not that's okay. instead of going in there thinking that there was going to be something good that came out of that.
Yeah.
And for years, not lots, but intercourse happened for years with that brother until I was well into my teens, and the shame that was involved in it.
Mm.
And my sister basically never did have anything to do with me. She got married when she turned 18, and I think that was her way of abandoning the situation,
Yeah.
right? That she
Yeah.
led me into. And I blame myself my whole life for thinking that a guy wanted to date me, when I looked good. There was times in my life that I got my weight down and looked good, and I thought guys were attracted to me and wanted to be my boyfriend and stuff like that. And I would be too easy to let them have me, and
Mm.
thinking that it was going to go somewhere, and it didn't go anywhere. And then once again, I'd be blaming myself.
Yeah.
Anyway, and I blamed that on her. I blamed it on her and on him. And he died about a year and a half ago, and I went to his funeral, and I sat on a little pop-up chair after everybody was gone, and I gave him shit for like 2 hours, just
Oh, good.
reamed it out. And so I
Good.
felt like I cleared a lot of it. But I know in this emotional eating and keeping this weight on, for, you know, not being as attractive, because
Yeah.
men
That,
usually like smaller women, right?
yeah.
Anyway, so
Weights.
this really helped. That's the first time I've ever gone in depth to this extent, which felt
Mm.
really good and gave it a different ending. So
Great.
thank you. I
Thanks,
appreciate it.
Marilyn. Thanks for sharing that. I'm so
Yeah,
glad.
you're
So
welcome.
glad you were able to tap through that. Okay, Roxana, you want to share with us?
Well, I took myself back to my 20s. It was the 1970s, and boy, were we wild. Definitely. I mean, sex was free and all over the place. But I got fragmented in the middle of it. There were several, I've got a very good long-term memory. And I
Mm.
remember a lot of who was I with, what happened, and that really hit me. And started noticing I couldn't do the punching very well, but I noticed I started tapping myself harder, and
Mm.
my respirations got rapid.
Mm-hmm.
And then I noticed the point where I was tapping easier and I let out a breath. I got a yawn or two
Mm.
and it relaxed. And
Mm.
then something else came in, and I have fragmented thoughts, and it went to something with my ex-husband. He was a mechanic and he had horribly dirty nails.
Hmm.
So what I wanted to do with him was put his fingers in acid so he could never touch anyone else again.
Perfect. I love it. Thank you for sharing that with us. I always love to hear what people do to kick their offenders' ass. Awesome, Roxana. Thank you for sharing. Does anybody else want to share or ask a question? Grace, how did you do?
That was really freeing, actually.
Hmm.
As I just wrote to Casey, well, I didn't know I had any options back then.
Yeah.
I was just intrigued by the physical sensations that I had. These were all new to me, and I didn't have nobody ever taught me anything.
Mhm.
So I kind of wanted it, but it really felt good. And then when you suggested, let's see, how did you put it? I imagined the story going a different way. I thought, shit, I can't think of a thing. Then I thought, oh, I know. I'm going to put a dress on, go get my bike, and ride my bike around and feel the breeze and feel the pleasure in my body as I ride my bike.
Oh, I love that.
But I lived doors up and down hills, so I got
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
it
That's
felt really good. Yeah, I'm surprised, actually. I got the
awesome.
chills. Yeah, it was good. Thank you.
I love your altar behind you. It's like you
Oh,
really set the mood. You really set the mood for the class. I love it. Thank you for sharing that with us, Grace. Okay, Roxana. Oh, you still had your hand up from earlier? Here, I'll just lower it. Linda.
Okay, I was quite young, so I just stomped my feet and I just strutted away from them. but I turned them all into girls. I figured that was the best revenge I could give them back what they were giving out.
I love
So,
that. That is a new one. I love that. Okay. Did it feel good? Did you take a big breath after that? Did that feel good to turn them into girls?
yes, but I beat the hell out of my pillow that I've got sitting here.
Oh, good. Great. I'm so glad you did that.
Yeah,
Awesome.
it feels really good. Thank you.
Good. You're welcome. Thank you for sharing that with us. Mary, how did you go?
Hi there. Well, I was beaten by two men because my father had gone down and confronted one of them. He thought that he had sexually abused me, and these men laughed and said the police can't help you, and your father's not going to help you. And then my sisters found me in the closet all beat up. And my younger sister, I never remembered anything of this. And my younger sisters told me, they reminded me that they had found me. So after I felt all this and the terror and the scared and wanting to get away from them, you said you can do something to them. I shot the shit out of them.
Good.
and
Good.
and I just, oh, it was wonderful. Thank you.
Good. Good. Yeah, I saw your process. You went really deep.
Yeah.
Well done. Thanks, Mary.
Okay.
Yeah. Saku, how did you do?
Like, um, you know, I had one memory. Um, I was young, I was 15 or 14, no, 15. My dad had died 6 months prior. My mom and I went to India to take his ashes and spread them. We had a lovely trip there, but when we were coming back, I was so sick and I felt really unsteady. And um, my mom, the plane was packed and we couldn't sit together. There was this really large Indian man sitting on the aisle seat. I was in the center. And the stewardess finally found a place for me to sit with my mom. And this man would not move. He wouldn't get up. And he made me climb over him. And I did, he brushed my inner thigh and squeezed it. And I just remember feeling so violated.
Hmm.
And I wish I had thrown up on him. I was so sick then, and I didn't. And when you asked us to think about being like we freeze, right? Like I
You
didn't
wanted to do
step on
instead?
his foot. I didn't do any of the things. And so when I brought it into this room, the thing that came out, which was most shocking, is that I started just to scream out like, "You have no right to touch me. You have no right to do this." And my father, he would have he didn't protect me. He wasn't even there anymore. So how dare you? And I didn't realize I had just so much hurt and sadness because my dad wasn't there anymore.
Yeah.
And I don't really know how to close this because it's so ripe and raw.
Yeah. It's still really up for you. Saku, when we were tapping, it sounds like you're in grief right now. Are you in grief about is it your father isn't here and he wasn't there to protect you? Is that what it was?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So, so I think you can do this on your own, but if you want to get help from your coach, just reach out to them and book something quickly. I know they'll make time for this. Um, but just feel it sounds like the grief of your father and you missing your father has kind of come up through this memory. And so just allow yourself to sit and cry. I mean, I just put my dog of 13 years down and I have not lost a parent, but that's as close as I've gotten to true grief. And I can tell you just sitting and crying and letting yourself sob for as long as you want to sob while you're tapping is going to be so healing for you right now. Okay.
What can I do?
So yeah, don't worry about the thing with the guy and touching you. I would just sit with the sadness around your dad. It sounds like that's more important. But that was a
Okay.
doorway into the pain that's still inside of you about losing your father.
Okay. Like,
Okay, you're welcome. I'm so sorry. My heart goes out to you. Lots of love. Okay. I think Casey's been in the comments. Daphne, do you want to check in? I see your message here to Casey, but I'm happy to chat with you too.
I'm happy to check in. I'm experiencing a lot.
Go ahead.
You are right. Your voice has power.
Oh,
Hearing it. But I'm experiencing a lot of how I have throughout my life never I rationalized really, really well and never gave power to the people who violated me.
yeah.
And so I, in my own mind, have said, I'm not a victim to that. I will not give power. And the earliest example being, as a 5-year-old. And I think I'm going to have to undo that rationalization that I have, that is a belief.
Yeah.
It's a very strong belief that I moved on.
Yeah, it's also, yeah, absolutely. I'm glad you're calling yourself on that because it is kind of a protective mechanism. It's keeping you from
Hmm.
going back
Hmm.
and visiting there. And
Yeah.
I tell people, like, even if you've gone to a lot of therapy and you've talked about this in therapy, if you haven't done this level of tapping on it, it will still haunt you. It will still show up in your life in multiple ways. So
The
yeah.
the thing to that though, Brittany, is I'm not even aware of how that could possibly be affecting me in the subconscious. I can't even.
Well, it keeps you usually the way it affects us is by having food cravings, overeating, and holding on to extra weight. That's one of the most common reasons.
I got that in spades.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
so
so I mean, if that is a common way that we compensate for rationalization, that we compensate for denial, that we compensate for and I loved your example. I mean, I've enticed men all through my 20s.
yeah.
I was really good. It was my way of controlling the situation.
Yep.
And so I had the control.
Yeah.
And I've rationalized that to say, "Pff, that's just what
So
I did."
so what I would do, Daphne, if I were you, is I would feel into the rationalization because that there is a feeling there, and I would tap and say something like I refuse to give this power. I refuse to give this power, and just keep repeating that over and over again. And I
Okay.
think what it'll do is it'll kind of loosen up the protection around those feelings and that memory.
So I'm fighting what you said that I can't even write
Can't
down
hear
what
it.
you said.
Okay. Okay.
So the sentence was, I refuse.
I refuse to give this power. I refuse to
Okay.
give that power. I refuse to go back there. I refuse to give this power. And just keep
Okay.
saying that because that's the statement you keep making. And
Yep.
I think if you, and I just think that that's the shield on top of it.
Mhm.
That's the visual I'm getting.
Just the fact that I couldn't hear you say it is
Totally.
probably
Yeah,
true.
that's how you know. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, and then yeah, you might want to watch the replay or listen to the module on this and do the process again after you've done
Sounds
that.
good.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. All right, ladies, thank you for being here tonight, for showing up for yourself, and thank you so much for allowing me to walk you through this really, really sensitive topic and sharing your process too with all of us. All right, have a great rest of your week, everybody, and I'll see you Thursday for the Q&A call.
Thank you, Brittany.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.